Welcome back, my fellow Degenerate watch addicts. I've got a Seiko Baby Alpinist to share with you today. I covered it already in a previous GADA episode, which I'll have linked in the description below as well as on the screen. I know this video is unnecessary because I've already covered it in the previous video, and I'm sure, as my loyal followers, you've already seen it multiple times. With that being said, I wanted to make a dedicated video towards it because I need to exploit it for as many views as possible, so let's get right into it. MSRP is $725, but on the street you're looking more around $600 out the door brand new. Secondhand, I wouldn't recommend anything more than $500 shipped. As a Seiko fanboy, I can easily pay whatever price I have to in order to get my grimy mitts on some juicy Seikos, but putting myself in the position of an outsider looking in, there's no way I can justify the higher price tag. Regardless, I still love this watch, and that's a hill I am willing to die on. One of the many reasons why I love this watch are the dimensions. The Baby Alpinist was featured in my GADA video specifically for how well it was sized, and my thoughts have not changed since then. 37mm is an underrated and unpopular size, but I think anyone who ever gets to experience it will quickly become fans of it. As someone who has obese wrists, I personally think 37mm is the Goldilocks diameter, both small enough for the size queens and large enough to not look silly on a larger wrist. For reference, I've got 7 3/4 inch wrists, and it is very comfortable physically and visually. Just like with all other overpriced Seikos, this comes with the 6R35 movement. Personally, I'm a fan of this movement as I've never had any issues with accuracy on mine. The rotor is beautifully decorated, and I am a huge fan of 70+ hours of power reserve. The physical components are nice, and while not groundbreaking, are things that I like to see on my watch. This includes a sapphire crystal, a screw-down crown, and a screw-down caseback. For a non-dive watch, we still see a rating of 200 meters, which is something I'll never need, but something I'll always take. And here's the Lumeshot. Seiko Lume is outstanding, and that holds true here. Perhaps a more classic shade of green would have been more appropriate, but I find the bluer tone futuristic and modern. The dial retains the adventurous spirit, with what appears to be a graphite dial. I have mixed feelings about it. I like how it's not pretty or delicate, but I don't like how it is such a far departure from the original Alpinist. I consider the Alpinist to be a gentleman's watch, and to that end I feel a satin or sunray dial would have been more fitting. I have the same mixed feelings with the indices, as even though it is pleasantly straightforward, I think applied indices would have paired really well here. Regardless of my conflicting thoughts, what remains constant is how beautiful that green color is, and is enough to sway me in favor of its current execution. The crown is uneventful, but simple and effective. It's easy to operate, and the threading is precise and smooth. It's surprising that they opted for a screw-down crown. Usually watches like this opt for the push-pull system. I know a lot of people prefer screw-down, so we'll call this a good thing. Not that screw-down crowns have any bearing on the reliability of a watch. The caseback is open and gives way to the 6R35 movement. The 6R35 isn't horologically impressive by any means, but I enjoy looking at it and feel that it classes up the overall presentation a bit. If I had my way, I would have implemented a closed caseback with an embossed Alpinist logo, as I feel that would have really made this watch a solid little tank. The bracelet is pretty standard, not much to talk about here. I find the style is fitting for the intended spirit of the Baby Alpinist. My only gripe is the absolute shite clasp. Functionally it works, but it looks so dumb and I don't get why they still use it. Overall, objectively, I think it's a solid watch. Do I think there's value? Sure. It has an undeniably classic case design with just enough pop of color that it's going to cater to the people who prefer something under the radar while not being too under the radar. It's also an enthusiast watch in the fact that it's part of the Alpinist family, and believe it or not, that is a correlation some people find very cool. All I can say is I am pleased with mine. I very much enjoy the casual wearing experience. Style-wise, it doesn't ask for much and goes with pretty much anything. It's also a great watch to wear when you're just lounging around, not particularly motivated to wear a certain style. And that's about it for now. If you made it this far, a like and subscribe is appreciated. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.